Top five fans. So the great, the one and only, the all-time legend, the definitely Hall of Famer, the MMA god, I guess you could say, Fedor Emelianenko retires. He retires. He's finally done. He's finally hanging it up. You know, he is 46 years old. He's had one hell of a long career. One hell of a long career. The guy has fought everywhere. The guy has fought all over the place, all over the world, especially in Japan. We remember him in Pride. We remember him in Strikeforce. We remember him in Bellator, even in all these other MMA organizations. The only unfortunate MMA organization that we wish we would have been able to see him at would have been in the UFC, but unfortunately, I guess they just could not cut some kind of deal. They couldn't get him over there, and it's very unfortunate because that would have been one hell of a way to have Fedor test his skills against the MMA legends over there. The UFC legends in that organization. You know, that is very unfortunate, but still, nonetheless, he had one hell of a career. He had literally, he's fought the who's who from talking about Mark Coleman, from Shogun, not Shogun, excuse me, Ryan Bader. Of course, we just saw him fight Ryan Bader. He fought Rampage, Chael Sonnen. You know, he's fought literally every single almost MMA legend out there. And there's other MMA legends that we would have loved to see him face, but we could not see him face. He is just, like I said, he's had some crazy career. He just had, like, literally, who can forget the Nogueira fights, those crazy fights that he had, even fights that he had with Mark Hunt. Like, his Pride days were probably the best and probably most memorable. There's literally not a UFC or MMA fighter alive, even in boxing probably, that does not know who Fedor was. Fedor was literally like almost everybody's top 5, maybe top 3 greatest of all time as far as heavyweights go. He is literally on that list from like with Cain Velasquez, Nogueira, Radum, which is somebody that also he fought. Dan Henderson, which is also somebody he fought. That greatest heavyweight of all time. There's always that discussion. Who is the greatest heavyweight of all time? Stipe Miocic, Cain Velasquez, Fabricio Verdum, or Fedor Emelianenko. You know, those are always the names on that list. Fedor is literally, you cannot surpass Fedor. You cannot. And you know what's crazy about Fedor is we always see these guys who are bodied up. We always see these guys who are buff and masculine and straight up look like they come out of a Greek god statue. But no, these guys straight up are just, these guys were just bigger, stronger heavyweights, where Fedor just looked like your typical man. You know, he didn't look like he was just someone carved out of stone or anything like that. He literally had the simple strength. You know, he literally had like something that just, when you look at him, he didn't look like this most feared heavyweight. He didn't look like it's somebody that can have that kind of skills that he has, but he did. He had power like you wouldn't believe. He had jiu-jitsu. He had grappling. His credentials when it comes to grappling, when it comes to jiu-jitsu, when it comes to judo, is just out of this world. You could go over there and look at his record in Wikipedia, and it's just unbelievable. And, you know, he's literally at 40 fights, I believe, 47 fights, I want to say, altogether, maybe 46. I could be wrong. I could be off by a few. But still, only having, I see, at least about 6-7 losses out of those 40 fights is still very, very impressive. Very impressive. Especially when you look at the list of people that he has fought. He has fought literally so many people that it's just, yeah, it's really, really hard to really pinpoint which great fight was there. And I think everyone's favorite fight on there, like I said, as hard as it is to say, would be that Nogueira fight. Definitely Nogueira fight. You know, those guys went at it with each other. And this wasn't like UFC Nogueira. This was Pride Nogueira. This was prime Nogueira. This was straight up Nogueira at his best. No disrespect to Nogueira in the UFC. He was still a force to be reckoned with. But still, this was prime Nogueira. And of course, like I said, we all really wish we would have got that UFC fight, that Randy Couture fight, that fight that we all wanted to see, who was the best heavyweight champion at that time. But unfortunately, things just did not come into fruition. I even heard rumors that they wanted Brock Lesnar to face Fedor. That would have been another fun one as well, but just again, that one could not come into fruition either. It's just very unfortunate, very unfortunate that we couldn't get those fights, and very unfortunate that we couldn't get Fedor in the UFC, because I would have loved it just as much, I'm sure, as you guys would have loved it, for sure. But nonetheless, it is what it is. That's the career. That's what happens. Sometimes we get the fights that we want. Sometimes we don't. So at the end of the day, let me know what is your Fedor favorite moment. Let me know what is your favorite Fedor fight. Let me know what is your favorite Fedor knockout. I mean, like I said, you can talk all day when it comes to Fedor. Literally, the list goes on and on and on when it comes to this guy. So I'm pretty happy that he's retired. I don't want to see him get knocked out no more. I don't want to see him getting hurt no more. But it's still, at the end of the day, I would have loved to see him in the UFC. That's just my only regret. That is my only wish. That is my only hope that we would have got to see, but unfortunately we didn't. Of course, like I said, I love all the fights that he's had in Pride. He's had one hell of a career, guys. One hell of a career. So let me know in the comments what is your favorite moment when it comes to Fedor. Let me know what you're taking from his fight. Let me know what you're taking from his career. Just let me know everything, guys. Let me know. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.